Good evening, and welcome to my new channel, Hobbies and Tutorials by me. Uh, and since I am a professional truck driver, I'm making my other channel primarily trucking related. This channel is going to be where all my hobby videos and tutorials on some of the stuff I'm doing. For example, tonight is going to be a tutorial on how to draw a grid sketch. Now, I've already got permission from the model in this photo to do this, but this model, her name's Talia. She also has some YouTube channels, which will be tagged in the description below. But I have her permission to use this photo for reference in these tutorials. Now, I've already gone through and transferred the photo into black and white for detailed shadows and everything. But I've also lightened it and already had the grid marked on it. Now I will be going through and numbering these grids to make it easier. But say for example you want to draw a 1:1 8x10 photo, I recommend doing a 16x20 square. That way if you do decide to scale it up to actually do a painting instead of a drawing, 16x20 will give you a full canvas size painting. It is a 2:1 scale of an 8x10. This photo is actually 8x10 right now. So I am going to be doing a 1:1 sketch. And I will be using, give me a second here, Stonehenge white drawing paper, 100% cotton, and when I do get to the colored pencil portion of the drawing, I will be using my Kaler 180 set. But I also have a sheet of tracing paper to use to keep from smearing the graphite pencil during the initial sketch. And I have a drawing glove. And I'm wearing these gloves to keep the graphite off my hands and to keep from transferring the oil from my hands to the paper, as you don't want to do that. But as of right now, that is where we're at, and I'm using my Bluetooth for the microphone, so forgive me for having the earpieces on. But I will be doing this, and this is just the intro, and we will get started on the initial layout of the grid on my drawing paper. So give me a second, and we'll be right back. All right. Now that I've already drawn out the grid and numbered it, and I've already numbered the grid on the photo. So the next thing to do is just to start drawing. Now I'm gonna start with anywhere that does not have really any detail of the actual portrait, I'm not gonna bother drawing. Like for the background here, I'm gonna leave that blank for now, because I'm gonna have that blurred. I want her to be the main focus of the drawing. Now, I do have her permission to use her photo for reference in these tutorials. So, get that out of the way. And again, you can, please go follow her channels. I will link them below in the description and in a pinned comment at the top. But let's get started with the sketch. Now, I am going to be doing a colored pencil drawing with this one, but I am starting with the initial sketch. And I'm using a 6H pencil for the sketch layout. Let me get this pencil sharpened first, because I want it extremely sharp. There we go. Now, I'm going to start with square number 4, since that has some detail in it. Now, what you want to do is try to copy each square individually, and by the time you get done, you'll have an accurate sketch on your drawing paper to the photo you're starting with. Now, I'm starting, like I said, with number 4, which is going to have the hairline. Is that? Now, like I said, number 5, since it basically doesn't have any other details in it, I'm not going to bother that one. I'm going to go over to number 6, which does have details, which is going to be the hairline separation. I'm just going to put in a light outline of where these are. I'm not going to bother with them yet because those will be done mostly in colored pencil. Now, number 7 and 8 are again going to be left alone. Well, except for number 7 here, because there will be some hair clumps that I have to start. So this one will go from the corner of number 7 to about 3/4 of the way up. So right about here. Yeah. We're gonna go, it's gonna be right about here. Now, I turn the board just so I can get a perfect lineup of where I want the line to be. And then there will be another one right about here. And then we're going to skip over, go straight to number 9. Put that outside hairline in, and then we got number 10 has a little bit right there, and then 26 is gonna go (42). Got a little bit of hair in 43. And then 59 is going to be swooped down and goes right about there. And we got a little bit in 75 there. 76 has a little bit like that. Okay. Now I'm going to go back on this side. We're going to start with number 19, which meets right about here with number 4's. Now, I have all these grids numbered going from 1 to 320 because that's how many squares I have in the drawing. Now, got some flyaway hairs in number 4 as well, so I'm going to go ahead and put those in. And then some in number 3. And then 19 again. There. Now we go to number 35. Is going to have basically right about there. 51. There's going to be a clump line right here in 51. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that in. Basically with the hair you want to draw it in clumps. And then 67. 83. There. Okay, now we're in 83, so we got another bit of a clump of hair starting right about there. Got this one going 51 is all the way right there. Then we got 36. 20. 21 and 22. Now I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the section for the eyes. I'm going to start with the eyebrows, so that's going to be in 70 here. Got a little bit right there in 70. Then we got in 69. Got a little bit of a clump right here. Now, I'm just doing the outline of the eyebrows. I am not drawing each individual hair until I'm ready to do the full drawing. So now we're in number 68 here. And that goes right there like that. Now I do have to do a little bit. It's not a perfect. You do have to keep checking yourself to make sure you draw everything in the right spot. But doing the grid sketch, you get more of an accurate representation than most everything else than freehand. Freehand takes longer and is more tedious, but sometimes it's worth it. Right there, and boom. There. That's the eyebrow. Now we're gonna get also in. Oh, not quite right. Start over with the eyebrow there, at least in that square, because in got the skin line right here, the start of the forehead. I'm going to go ahead and do the outline of the face. Alright, 51, we got... And then we got 52 here. Give me a second while I get this drawn up a little bit better. There. Use the brush for the eraser sections. Alright. Now let's finish redoing the eyebrow. And in 71, we got another eyebrow. Got a little bit that goes into 70. Not much. Then we got 72. Got some hair sticking down in 72 right here. There we go. And we got a little bit more of the eyebrow here. And the rest is covered by hair. So go ahead and draw those in. Now with 89, we got hair going down. Just skimming 105. And 106, back up. Alright, now we've got just above right there, the start of the eye. We've got right here in 71, we got the crease of the eye. The eyelids. Got another crease right here, just under the eye. Goes right here. Gets blocked by that hair. And we got more of that crease right there. There. Now, for the iris of the eye, I am going to do something different. I am going to use a circle guide. So, because it will give me an accurate representation of where the iris is in the eye. It should be right about there. And I'm using this 2/8 because it's the right size. No, not quite. Close. It's just a hair too small. So that's the general idea, to get it just right. So instead of using the circle guide, I will draw it by hand. But let me sharpen the pencil first. So since I've got that, got this hairline right there. And the iris is gonna go partially right there, right there. That's not quite right either. That's the general position of it, but it's not the right size. So we're gonna do this again using this. I think I'm gonna go with the 3/8. As part of the iris is blocked. I don't need that. We're gonna go right here. The iris is here. There we go. That's more like it. Don't worry, most of this will be covered by the colored pencil with the eyelashes. So what I'm gonna do now is draw in the pupil, which is gonna be right. Actually, the pupil I can do right here. And there is a bit of a reflection right here. So I will go ahead and draw those reflections in. There. Alright. Now, let's get the other eye. Got in 86. Get a little bit of it right here. Then in 85, little bit of the crease right here. And there's a little bit of one right here. Alright, now let's get this iris in. Gonna get this pupil in, which again has reflections in it. There's that. Wait. I had my kneaded eraser here a second ago. Oh, there it is. Now, I do want to lighten these just a little bit. So I'm going to take the kneaded eraser and pull up some of this graphite. You want it extremely light when you're doing a colored pencil drawing. There we go. Now let's continue going with the sorry, had to sharpen again. You want your pencil to be extremely sharp as you can get it. Which I do have a better pencil sharpener in here somewhere. Yeah, there they are. I have a Faber-Castell, the matte version of the pencil sharpener. So, give me a second. I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to use this pencil sharpener to get perfectly sharp. There we go. There. I'll just keep that out for now because I might need to dig into it again. As I have this here that I use for my graphite sketches, drawings. But this is just an outline sketch for the colored pencil drawing that I will be doing here. Now, let's get the rest of this outline going. Now, in 87, I made that just a little too big there in 87. Don't want it to be too big. You want it to be just right. Now there is a little bit right here. There. And we got the outline of the nose to start. Which goes to there we go. There. And that's just the outline of the nose. Let me lighten that up a little bit. I said you want to keep it extremely light for this sketch when you're doing colored pencil. I mean, you barely want to see it at all. It should be barely, very, very light. It should be light enough to where you can't even see it in the camera here, but I'm doing it a little darker just so you guys can see it on this tutorial. Now, we got here in 20 is the I'm doing the lips now. Just barely graze that. lighten that. There we go. Now, I'm gonna go back to doing the hair. We got some and we've got these clumps of hair to deal with. Alright, now let's get the rest of this outline. We got a little bit of sweater here. Now, we got it down here in 258. And we got some shading lines to draw in. Now that is how you do a grid sketch. Now I've got this set and ready. It is ready for the next step. I just have to lightly erase these lines so that they're not visible through the colored pencil. Because I don't want the graphite to overpower the colored pencil. So I'm taking my kneaded eraser and lightly pulling up the graphite it's still going to be there, lightly visible for me to see. But not too pronounced that it's visible through the colored pencil. Now this whole area here, as you can see in the original photo, is all black. So a lot of this detail down here won't be visible anyway. Now I am going to lightly draw in the wall behind her. So that's starting from 76 here. For that, I will use this to get a perfectly straight line up to where it needs to be. Like I said, the background is going to be blurred, but I still want it to be visible from as if I was drawing the full photo, but I'm going to just blur the background. See? There. Now I've got my sketch outline. There's basically somebody standing behind her here, so I will go ahead and lightly draw in that shoulder. I don't know if she noticed that they were standing behind her, but I'm going to go ahead and draw that in, even though it's not going to be the main focus. It's going to be blurred. So like I said, I want her to be the main focus of this drawing. So I will go ahead and draw that in. There. And there we go. There. Now, the sketch is complete and ready for either colored pencil or graphite. Now that I've gotten all of the layout done, you can go through and take your regular eraser and erase the grid lines once you've done your full drawing. So I will go ahead and do that now, and you'll see what it looks like after the grid has been erased. Now some of this won't be completely erased because I don't want to accidentally erase any of my sketch lines. So let's go ahead and brush that away. Sorry about the shaking. Like I said, you're attached to the tray here. Go ahead and Now, if you do accidentally erase any of your sketch during the process of getting rid of the grid lines, you can draw those back in. There we go. Now, some of this I will use my smaller eraser so that I don't accidentally erase, like I said, stuff that I want to keep. But for the most part, the grid lines can be completely erased. Go. Now, when I'm done completely with the drawing, most of this stuff will be covered up by colored pencil anyway. I'm just getting rid of most of the grid lines now that I've got my sketch in there. Let's get rid of these eraser things. Now the only thing left to erase is the grid on the skin here. There. Now that that's done, I can just lightly come back in to fix anything that accidentally got erased. There we go. Now basically that is how you do a grid sketch. You draw out your grid on your reference photo, and then you draw the exact same size grid on your drawing paper, and draw each individual square until you get the full drawing that you're aiming for. Excuse me a second while I get that. I accidentally dropped the pencil. There we go. I got a few lines to correct here that got accidentally erased. There. Now, for the most part, this sketch is done and ready to start coloring. Now, I will be doing that in another video. That won't be a tutorial. That'll be just me coloring it in. Since I'm still practicing with the colored pencils, I don't know exactly what colors to use yet. And I want to get it to look as photorealistic as possible. But as you can see from the sketch, that we pretty much got the likeness down. Do have a few more hairlines to take care of. There we go. Let's get that hair back in there. Now, I haven't done any of the loose flyaway hairs yet, because that is going to be part of the colored pencil portion. Those will be the last thing I put in with the hair. But for the most part, she is good to go. All right. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial on how to do a grid sketch. And we'll see you in the next video, which will be a full sketch by hand graphite pencil drawing. Instead of using the grid, I will do everything by hand, manually. But I will be taking this section and blowing it up to fill the whole page. When I do a graphite drawing, I want to do the face larger. When I'm doing color pencil, this is okay. But this portion of the drawing is complete. I'm just touching up, smoothing out some of these lines that were not perfectly smooth during the initial sketching phase. That's one downside to the grid method, is you have to go through and touch up your lines just right to smooth them out. There we go. Now I will just touching up these lines, smoothing them out. Now I got a little bit of detail here for that. And there was some, this part area here is going to be not in detail because it's hidden. But I will continue that around anyway. Just the outline of the shirt. Now we got a little bit of the just a little hint of the underclothing showing. Not much. There we go. Alright, now that this drawing is ready, we will take and call this the end of the video. And I hope you enjoyed. And we'll see you in the next tutorial. Have a good night, and thank you for sticking around and watching the full real-time drawing of this sketch. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you, and have a good night.